Hello and welcome to the Cardrona Valley. We sit high above the valley floor though at the Cardrona Alpine Resort with its iconic buildings that have recently been undergoing a renovation, but we're here for the climax of the 2019 QRC Winter Games New Zealand, fueled by Forsyth Barr. For this, the FIS Freeski Halfpipe World Cup 2020. Yes, it's 2019, but this is the beginning of the 2019-2020 World Cup season. All of the big names are down here. All of them want to make a good start to the season. We're kicking off with the 8 women in the finals, and we'll get that underway very shortly. But before we do, let's take a closer look at our venue, Cardrona Alpine Resort. Cardrona Alpine Resort is our host mountain for the freestyle program here at the QRC Winter Games New Zealand. Currently undergoing a transformation, the resort is home to some of the best park and pipe facilities in the world. Every year, the best freestyle athletes base themselves here at Cardrona for off-season training. It's also a mecca for recreational skiers and snowboarders coming to make the most of the extensive groomed trails and off-piste terrain. As they have been for most of a decade, the park, pipe and big air events for both freeski and snowboarding will be held here and are sure to deliver some truly spectacular winter sports action. Sit down and strap yourselves in. The halfpipe here is in perfect condition, and I'm joined by the triple world champion in freeski, slopestyle and big air. It's Mr. James Woods, aka Woodsy. Have you ever seen this place looking so fine, Woodsy?
Well, this is certainly a perfect day. You can't ask for anything more than this. There's no wind, there's no clouds. It could not be better, the conditions. And
we've got a very, very strong lineup in both the women's and the men's fields.
Absolutely, the best of the best in the world. This is the first stop on the 2019-2020 World Cup Tour for the halfpipe guys here. So everybody's down here looking for that all-important World Cup points. And of course, it's the World Tour.
Okay, you can see there confirmation of our weather conditions. Clear skies, almost no wind, 0.6 of a metre per second. Already the air temperature is up to 6 degrees Celsius. Snow temperature is still -1, but they'll be salting this pipe to try and keep it in really strong, crispy condition, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And there was a tiny little flurry of snow during the night, which just brings all the snow into the same sort of realm, and it's just that little bit softer, so it's perfect.
Okay, 165 metres of superpipe. It's 4.5 metres deep. Gradient of the slope that it sits on is 19 degrees, and it's named very aptly the Wells Pipe. The boys, I mean, Jossie, Byron, Bo James, Jackson, they've done more for free skiing in New Zealand potentially than anyone else.
Absolutely, huge names, not just around here, but worldwide. They've done so much for New Zealand and for the sport. They are. This pipe is aptly named, like you say.
Okay. Shaped by Ali Zeitner, and everyone this year that we've spoken to has said that it is in perfect shape. We can take a quick look into the judges' box here. You can see Tori Beattie, the Kiwi there, and the other 4 or 5. I don't recognise any of the other faces. You must have had conversations with a few of them.
Yeah, this is the crew, this judging panel, world class. They go around the world doing events just like this. It's the World Cup judging panel. There they are online. The head judge, Steele Spencer, obviously big time freeski name himself, and an amazing world-class field of judges. So it's great for them also to see the progression of everybody throughout the summer, as well as it is for us to see the skiers.
Okay, yeah, very, very valuable for them. And it'll be an interesting time now after qualifying to see what they're prioritising this season, what their conventions. The judges all have a decent amount of chat to find out exactly what is going on with their season. But we can find out now what is going on with the freeski and snowboard park and pipe season from the head of the FIS Freeski and Halfpipe programs. It is Robbie Morazi.
For lots of teams, it's really important to start here because they connect their like summer training session, which is your winter, which delivers a really great period and good conditions in the South Hemisphere, to one of our first stops of the whole season. So we did a big air here, and we're doing this year a half pipe, and this definitely gives us a really good kickoff to what's going to be a long and interesting season. 1920 is an interesting season because it's the one just before the Olympic qualification period, so everybody's like revving up and they're starting to get their quotas locked in for the next season. So this season is going to be important for teams to participate, be able to get their results in so that they can really get ready for the Olympic qualification period. We have some new stops coming on, like we have just got confirmation from a big air in Atlanta, which is going to be a massive event in a baseball stadium, which is going to be the second one, the third or fourth one after the big air we just hosted here in Cardrona. Then we've got a new venue coming in Beijing, where we have this new Olympic venue, which is like a permanent stadium for big air happening as well. So the period before December is going to be looking really interesting. Then we go into the classical events like Mammoth, Lax, Font-Romand, France, and we are sort of like locking in about 6 to 7 World Cup events in each discipline, so halfpipe, big air, and slopestyle, and we're even getting more connected between snowboard and freeski. So it's all coming together in a really good way, and kids are enjoying it. The teams are revving up, and it's looking promising.
That was very, very interesting stuff from Robbie Morazi there, because it made the point that a lot of the developing teams, as we're seeing in women's halfpipe especially with the Chinese, they've got to make this season count. So all of that fresh young talent has the points to get onto the World Cup and compete for a full season in that Olympic qualifying year.
It absolutely is, and it's a very different season for different people. Obviously, the best of the best in the world that have proven themselves, potentially had an amazing Olympics last year. This is a year for them. They almost come off the boil, to give themselves, enough time to rev up for the Olympics next season. It's qualification coming up next season. This is the year for the up-and-comer. This is where we're going to see new, fresh names that we might have only just heard before at a junior level, and it's time for those guys to really take the baton and earn their spot in the next cycle.
Well, interesting that you say that. Cassie Sharp and Kelly Sildaro both conspicuous by their absence here, but that's given a new, essentially, you could say one of the new big names of women's pipe skiing the chance to really shine here.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been all eyes on Eileen Gu in this superpipe this week, so and across the slopestyle and big air events over the course of the last few weeks, and that is very important. It's very, very important for young and up-and-coming competitors to experience winning and doing qualifications, making finals, and what it takes to actually win events, because that is a whole new just realm, of competition. So it's fantastic to see them in an opportunity where they can actually do that.
Yeah, it's one thing having all of the tricks. It's something else entirely actually putting them down under pressure in a run. Okay, here's the start list running in reverse order of qualification. Svea Irving, her brother Burke, will also be in the men's finals. Then we got the Wumeng clan in second to drop. Then the only European, very, very shocking there, the German Sabrina Kakmakli, Yang Yujin of Korea, coached by Peter Olenek. And then we've got Zhang Kexin, Valeria Demidova of Russia. Some very impressive skiing from her. Eileen Gu, uncharacteristic. I think the first time we've seen her qualify for anything in second or come second anywhere in New Zealand over the last 3 weeks. And then Li Fanghui, the Chinese woman, will be the last to drop, having qualified in first. Format's very simple. 3 runs. It's overall impression on the judging, marked out by the criteria in the acronym DAVE. Difficulty, amplitude, variety, execution. There's 5 judges. You'll drop the highest and lowest scores, and then it'll be an average of the other 3 scores that gives us a number out of 100. So that was the Canadian coach down there, I think. We had a chat with him yesterday while we had a weather hold, so we'll be watching this very closely. But first up, Svea Irving. How did you feel about her skiing yesterday, Woodsy?
Yeah, skiing very well. I do feel like she had a lot more to offer. Like she squeaked into this final in the last place spot, but it did sort of feel like yesterday in the qualification event, the job was only to qualify, get it done, and now you can open the floodgates for the finals, because it's 3 runs and only the best one counts in this final, so you can really do have the opportunity to open it up.
Okay, she is not just physically very talented. I have it on good authority that her grade point average is a 3.9. That's on a scale of 4, which means she's about 99%. Let's see what she's got in the pipe, though.
And hopefully a 99 out of 100 coming right up here as well. A big left side 900 to start things up. There's an improvement already from yesterday's qualification for Svea. Right side 360. A very nice switch down the pipe. Takeoff, a little bit of running in the air. Nice flare, holding it together, and that'll be her final hit. It was a little bit wobbly, but she did manage to hold it together.
And it felt very much like the threes in the middle of the run were setups. This was a beautiful way to open.
Certainly the highlight of that run was that 900 to start things off. Nice 360 lead Japan, which, like you say, sets her up for the switch hit. That's the toughest direction you can spin in the pipe. And a nice, fully inverted flare to finish it off. That's a good statement.
Okay, only 4 hits for Svea. A lot of the women looking for 5. Let's hear from Svea.
Okay, first to throw down today. How's that pipe looking?
Pipe is amazing. It's so good today, really fast, super smooth. Yeah, excited.
Okay, 55.4. We've often talked about the difficulty of dropping first in a final. The judges are using this as their benchmark score. And Svea Irving receiving something way below that classic 75 that we're used to seeing. So the judges want to see more amplitude, better execution, and potentially one more hit. Now it's Wu Meng of China, just 16 years old. She was the youngest person competing in Korea in 2018 of all of the sports. So she's only 16, but she's a veteran.
Left side 540, back-to-back fives, left and right, spinning both ways, appeasing the judges with that. Left side 7, again better than yesterday for her. Switch down the pipe 3, locking in a Japan grab, setting up for these bottom hits. Alley-oop 180 Japan, and this hit will be an alley-oop 360, finishing off in the pipe switch. Very smooth, not the kind of amplitude that will take the day today, but very smooth pipe skiing all the way through.
Some lovely execution, landing right at the top of the pipe in each of the transitions. You see her meeting, you can hear the sound effect. It's a sweep or a slash as she comes in. So the technique's there, and we talked a lot about this during qualification, Woodsy. Having perfect technique provides you with the building blocks to really step up.
Absolutely, and it was only a few years ago in this very pipe, you know, and the first event of the season where we saw some of the veteran names now on a bit more of a beginner level with brilliant technique, and once you've got a brilliant technique, you can build the tricks up from there.
Okay, a 72 for Wu Meng in first place for now. But we're seeing, the German coach there saying, speed is your friend, and you can't get hurt in the air. The old Dumb and Dumber classic coaching technique. Sabrina Kakmakli of Germany, ready to drop.
Now, Sabrina's probably, as far as the competitions are concerned, the most experienced in this field. Beautiful way to start a half-pipe run, dropping in switch like that. All the way down the pipe, 720. That's a statement to start a run. Left side at 540, getting a Japan on that. Right side 5. Now, you've already seen her stepping up. The typical moves are the back-to-back 540. She's already done that, and a switch 7 in the pipe. And a right side. No! That is devastating for Sabrina, going down on the right side 7, which was no doubt going to be her final trick in that pipe.
Oh, she properly had the rug pulled out from under her feet there. She'd stomped that. That looked very, very odd.
Yeah, I'd almost relaxed myself in the knowledge she'd completed that. I believe this is her last. Yeah, right side 7, landed just, oh my goodness. So these walls are 22 feet of basically
look at this
vertical ice.
She lands on the ski as well.
Yeah, she just landed slightly on her edge, and when you land and go through that transition, it all happens so quick. There's so many G's going through you and through your equipment. These bindings are designed to pop off so you don't damage your leg instead. So it does look like Sabrina's okay. It's just pride and pressure on the next 2 runs.
But she's got, and exactly as you say, she's got another 2 runs to work with there. Okay, Yang Eugene of Korea. She's got the stoichometer turned up to about 12 every day I've seen her on the hill. She's an absolute pleasure to watch.
She is indeed. We remember yesterday she was going wild at the top. She's got Peter Olenek with her at the top, who's one of the most notorious and famous pipe skiers in the game. He's done so much for this sport and is now taking the Korean team among a select few others to the next level. And this sort of shows you how far Eugen's come in the last few years is a long way.
Well, it's benefiting from that enormous investment that Korea put into winter sport for Pyeongchang, and it's starting to pay dividends in skiers like Yang.
Look at that, she's locking in the mute grab in that 540 on the first hit. It's 360, setting it up for a down. It's like, like this right side 5 lead mute grab, but not the amplitude necessary for, the 900 that I'm pretty sure she was looking to put in there.
Question for you. Yesterday, no sun, so it's consistent snow both sides of the pipe. Now we've got very stark contrast, a sunny soft wall and an icy shadowy wall. How hard is it to measure yourself between those two?
It's very difficult to stay consistent between two walls that are, of course, like you say, have different textures completely. They run completely different. The icy wall versus the soft wall, you basically have to just know and adapt to it.
Okay, a 66 there for Yan Eugene of Korea. The funometer will be tested over the next 2 runs for her. Okay, next in, Zhang Kexin of China. One of the most impressive female pipe skiers we've seen.
And we're working our way up the qualification order, so the abilities are getting higher. Massive 720 to start things off. Switch down the pipe 5, the hardest way you can spin the half pipe. Back to back. What with the switch 9 in there? This is a big run. Switch 3, setting it up for a forwards hit further down the pipe. A beautiful 540 mute grab. That was a big amplitude. That was a very, very impactful first run in this finals.
Well, she's torn up convention there. In a 3-run final, traditionally people come in with a stock run, but she's come out guns blazing here.
She absolutely has, and we're seeing the technical ability really paying dividends, landing a little bit deep there and switch, but still managing to keep her speed and technique into that 3. And I mean, look how big this 540 is, well over 6 foot to finish that off. And amplitude right in front of the judge's face is exactly the way to leave an impression of a good run.
Okay, the cat has officially been put amongst the pigeons. The judges have now got a job on their hands, putting this score where it deserves to be. Certainly Eileen Gu and Li Fanghui will be looking at that and wondering where they can go. 85.4, very, very strong marker from Kexing Zhang on the first run here in the Women's FIS World Cup Freeski Halfpipe Finals, the first World Cup of the season. Now, Valeria Demidova of Russia.
She's improved so much over the years. She was one of the young guns that had flawless technique and had to build the tricks on top of them. But now she's back here in Cardrona at the beginning of another season, and she has the tricks to add to them. Just like that, a right side flare to start things off. Nice amplitude. Back to back, an even bigger flare to the left on her second hit. 720, it's amazing to see the girls so comfortable backwards and upside down in the half pipe. Alley-oop 540 switch, alley-oop 360 switch, the opposite direction with a Japan. Another impressive statement for a first run.
That pipe run would work as a CV for Bill Gates. It was technical enough. She may not have the amplitude, but she was really...
Talk about amplitude, though.
And it's really, really good technique. Landing at the top of the pipe every time. The execution's going to be through the roof on this. Look at that. Again, skis are on the vert.
Yeah, you really can't argue with the way she comes through the half pipe.
Okay, Valeria Demidova with another run that's been stepped up like Kexin Zhang. She's really pushed since qualifiers. Let's hear from Valeria.
So Valeria, a very good solid run. Were you happy with it?
Yeah, it was a really good run, but I want to jump one more hit, but so small place for 6 jumps, and I don't know, I wish I will saw about another runs, and it's good run was, and yeah, I'm happy.
And that's a really interesting point made by Valeria there, that she's got a 6th trick there, but she just doesn't have room for it in this pipe.
a massive aspect for using for the half pipe judging. He's using the entire pipe, and that is about good judgment prior to the event and during the run. If she's going over and going too deep, that's bad. But if she's missing too much at the end of the pipe, that's also bad. You have to be dead on.
Okay, score there for Valeria Demidova, 82.2. Just 3 points and change shy of Kexin Zhang. Now it's the turn of Eileen Gu. She won both the Continental Cups in slopestyle and a halfpipe. Can she make it a triple here in the World Cup halfpipe finals?
Plenty of pressure on her right now. Right side of 540 with the lead seatbelt Japan into the left side 5. You're seeing her quality. She's got the big tricks high out of the lip. Right side 720. Switch down the pipe 7. Beautiful. That was where she missed a grab yesterday, but not today. Ali 180 mute. This is a cut above from yesterday's qualification for Eileen Gu.
Okay. This is very impressive. This hit is a 5 at the moment in the ANC Continental Cup final. She tried a 9 out there, so we know she's got somewhere to go. But like you say, the technicality, the amplitude, and the execution, it's all there.
Yeah, she's got all the ingredients. She's even coming off axis on some of these hits. Switch down the pipe. She gets that grab, which she missed yesterday, which certainly, in my opinion, is what put her into second place qualifying and not first. But today, gets it.
Let's hear from Eileen.
Well, Eileen, you started big and it just kept going. Can you get any bigger?
Honestly, we'll see. I'm going to try to push it and push it and push it, and knowing me, I'm going to do my very best every run that I get. I'm glad that it started off really well, though, because as competitors know, it kind of relieves the pressure to get a good first run under your feet, but I'm not stopping there, expecting big next run from me and the run after.
Okay, well, you can see it there in the execution and the difficulty. She's nearly maxed those out. So 88.8 for Eileen Gu. She moves into the top spot, only just ahead of Kexin Zhang and Valeria Demidova. And we still have one skier left to drop. Li Fanghui of China qualified in first place yesterday. I think it was more, I'm not taking anything away from Li, but it was more due to mistakes from Eileen Gu rather than incredible skiing from Fanghui. So be interesting to see, though, whether she can step up now with her confidence flying high.
Absolutely big pressure to qualify first for a final. It's a really different game when you're in that position. She started things off very nicely with back-to-back 5s left and right. There's the 7. Coming down the pipe, switch down the pipe 540 to the left, switch right down the pipe 7, beautifully executed. That was a very, very nice run. We spoke about how technically well she comes down the pipe yesterday, and she's shown that again today.
Okay, really good form, incredible amplitude, maybe over-rotated slightly with the upper body, and it killed a little bit of her amplitude on the second hit, but she recovered.
If I'm going to be honest about this run, the one thing it did lack was the consistency, the variety, and the execution of the grabs. That's going to really pull this score down. However, the technical difficulty of the tricks she was doing, right up there, but missing those grabs we've seen from the likes of Kexin and Eileen. They got their technical difficulty, the amplitude, and those grabs, which is kind of the whole package. So I don't believe this is going to leapfrog them, but it could sit pretty. Where's it sitting? We're waiting for it.
Okay. Well, at the moment, podium is 82.2. It's an 88.8 for the win. It's 79.2 for Li Fanghui. So she sits 3 points off the podium places. Definitely room for improvement there, and certainly there's 3 points of improvement available to her. So, first run scores are in. Eileen Gu moves back into her customary position at the top of the standings, as it has done throughout the Winter Games here. Kexin Zhang in second, Valeria Demidova in third. Okay, here are the men. They tried to get through qualifying yesterday, but we've managed to get them early this morning. 10 past 8 they started qualifying, and this is how they will start in reverse order. Sam McKeown will kick us off. Lyman Courier is back. Simon D'Artois took the top spot. Local boy Miguel Porteous came in third. And Jackson Herter, you can see him there. He was 4th in qualifying. He won the ANC Cup 2 weeks ago. So no shortage of pedigree in this field, Woodsy.
Absolutely not, and everybody here earning their slot, absolutely. We have two very, very big dogs with Thomas Krief and Hunter Hess not making this final despite landing very good runs. So these guys all earning their spot, absolutely.
Okay, Sam McKeon of Canada, 21 years old, won a NORAM back in December, which is like a North American amateur comp.
Oh, my goodness, what a shame. A brilliant start to that run with a huge double cork 1260 and the unique as anything alley-oop 720 with a tweaked mute. Unfortunately, that's where it doesn't quite go down but washes out. And in these high, this is where he went down, in these, wow, look at that axis. It's like nothing I've ever seen before. But you can just see him almost tripping over his own feet there. And that'll be the end of the run. If you're not perfect, it's not going to cut it. You know, obviously he couldn't really recover from that, but I'm glad he's okay.
Incredible save.
Hi, Mom.
Yeah, because it can be sore if you don't save it so well.
Okay, 2 more runs left, though. We have 3 runs. Only the best run score counts. So while it's nice to get a score on the board, in this case, he'll be relying on 2nd and 3rd run scores. So 28.2.
Oh, nice.
He thinks that's a pretty good score for a single trick.
It's a pretty good score, really. It's a nice double 12. I cannot be more excited to introduce you to the next competitor. It's Lyman Courier, and he has been out and plagued with injury for so long. It's amazing to see his name, that picture, back on the start list. It really is. To see him at the top of the pipe right now, in a final, made it all the way here to New Zealand and all the way through to the final on his first event back for a very long time. Cannot tell you how exciting this is, Ed.
Yeah, the injuries started back in Sochi in 2014, fell on both of his final runs in the Olympics there, tore his ACL.
But he's absolutely one of the best in the world. He's showing his quality even after such a long break. Big double cork 1260 to the left, right 9 starting off this run beautifully. Look at that 9 reaching back with both hands on the same tail. Alley-oop, rodeo 7, something he does better than anybody else in this game in my opinion. And a switch down the pipe 7 with a boned out nose grab to finish it off. That is a run, man.
6 hits, and the first hit that we're going to see on the replays here comes in very high up the pipe. He used every ounce of it.
That's honestly, if you ask me, that's a sign of a professional. You know, he knows this is a slightly shorter pipe than others that we have in the World Tour. Still of absolutely brilliant quality, but he's milking it for all he's got.
I love that grab.
Yeah, he's got the style, he's got the technical ability. And look at this, the way he puts that rodeo 540 is what everybody else does. Puts it to 7 like just not bothered.
He tucked it into bed, didn't he? Nice and comfy, night-night.
Well, Lyman, first final since coming back from injury, you know, what does it mean to put down a run like that?
It's just amazing. You know, I came out here just hoping to make finals and checked that off my list. So now I'm just having fun today, and feels great to get those competition nerves pumping again.
Thank you, Lyman. Love the way his goggles match his skis as well. That's accessorization. So 77, maybe Lyman Courier suffering a little bit as being the first landed run for the judges, but still in first place, and he will be the benchmark that everyone else is chasing him. 10 men in the final. We've had 2 down. The third is Noah Bowman, aka Mango.
Dropping in right now, one of the most unique and stylish skiers in a half pipe anywhere in the world. Right side at 1080 blunt to start it off. Switch just crazy down the pipe 5. No one can do that. It's impossible. Switch alley-oop, double 9, unbelievable, incredibly blind trick into a switch down the pipe 720. It's a beautiful pipe run every time from Noah Bowman.
That was David Copperfield magic, the landing on that last trick. Look at the amplitude there as well.
He's so smooth. He's got that unique style. You don't need to be an expert in this field to see how unique he is. Look at this alley-oop spinning up the pipe rather than down it. Slightly, you know, more technical sort of axis, but sort of showing that he can do everything switch. Whether he did enough forwards, left and right, I don't know. Let's hear from Noah about the run.
Well, no, you lay down a run like that first up. I suppose the next 2 you can just get out and have some fun.
Yeah, exactly. The sun's out, the pipe is perfect. So yeah, step it up a little bit, and it's all up from here. Thanks.
Okay, well, interesting what you said, Woods. You picked up on that in qualifying yesterday, that in terms of, we've got this Dave system that you're going to see on the right-hand side of the screen. Difficulty, how hard are the tricks, amplitude, how big are the tricks, variety. And this is the category you see as a point of contention for the judges for Noah Bowman. He's not doing enough different rotations.
I don't know what the judges are saying about it, but when I see a half pipe run, you know, you almost don't want to give them any reason to mark you down. You know, they're gonna have to take any reason that you give them to mark you down because everybody is so good. What Noah's doing is fabulous. It's unbelievable. His ability is incredible. Whether he ticks the variety box, it's just a little lower than the others, but it's still a fantastic run.
Yep, 88.8. The judges like it. So, Noah Bowman, the execution, the amplitude, the difficulty are all there, but the variety is something that he can crank up. Okay, next in, Aaron Blunk. So he'd been sat in a very impressive second place when qualification was called off on Friday. Wasn't quite as impressive this morning. Let's see how he works it.
Starting it off with a very, Aaron Blunk-esque run, a switch. Not quite landing the switch double there and just burning out over the lips. That's going to be a throwaway run for Aaron. Didn't quite start things off the way that he wanted to on that first hit. Didn't get that amplitude, didn't get the flow. The name Aaron Blunk is synonymous with superpipe skiing now. I mean, and you can see exactly why. This is the hardest trick you can do in a half pipe right now. It really is. Switch down the pipe, double 1080. It's unbelievably impossible.
But he's, as you said, he managed to recover, but it was a very average first hit.
Yeah, it was an average first hit. It didn't set him up for a perfect switch
put
double
that
there.
up?
Okay, next in, Brendan McKay, a.k.a. Meat. Not particularly tall, but he's nearly as thick as he is wide. This boy is an absolute unit. But for such a meaty competitor, he has an incredible amount of grace. Check out this guy's style.
Yeah, Brandon!
He certainly does. Style, technical difficulty. He's got the froth of a young competitor only because he's surrounded by such an incredible Canadian team. Look at the sort of moves he can do. Switch, huge 720 on the first hit. Alley-oop, rodeo 540, bow arrow grab, incredibly technical. To the left side, double 1260, double grab, right side, double 1260. Wow, well, there's a couple of ticks and a couple of boxes right there.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just taken things to a new level here at Men's World Cup FIS Halfpipe Finals. In-flight meals served on these tricks. The amplitude is so big.
It absolutely is. What an amazing angle there. You even get a good view of the mountains with Brendan McKay in there. These are the back-to-back double corks, 1260s. That one's to the left, landing a little low, but he's so strong, doesn't even phase him. Right side double 12 to finish things off. Beautiful.
First time we've seen back-to-back 12s here, and you can see what it means to everyone at the top of the pipe.
Well, Brendan, the commentators are pretty impressed with that. What did you think of it?
Felt awesome. I had fun, I guess. It's sick out there. Like, the pipe is perfect and there's no wind. Can't complain.
Okay, got an 11th at the World Champs back in Park City. Managed to pull that up to a 5th at the last World Cup he did of the season in Calgary. Been interesting to see where this score takes him. I'm expecting to see this go up into the top spot. At the moment, it's an 88.8 from Noah Bowman. Judges push this one into the 90s for the first time. You can see the amplitude is right up there as well. 92.4. Brendan McKay, a.k.a. Meat, makes his presence felt at the top of the standings. Okay, next in, Taylor Seaton, a.k.a. T-Sizzle.
With a brand new profile picture as of today. I like this a lot.
Look at those pants as well. They look like real pleather.
Taylor Seaton, an amazing competitor in the superpipe. Been doing it for a very long time. Huge right side 900, always a staple in these finals. Left side 9 clipping the deck, but is not gonna let it stop him. Yes, it is. Little alley 180. That was a very, very close call. alley-oop 360. He's using this as a bit of a practice run for next time, as he did clip the deck. The judges will dock him, but it's a practice, but a very impressive couple of switch hits at the end. He's going to use that to set himself up for the 2 more runs that he has. But honestly, although he's not going to get the scores that he would have liked for that, this is where it went wrong. He's going to be very grateful that he walks away from that fine.
100%. We've talked about this before, but it's a game of millimetres in the pipe.
Well, Taylor, you just hit the deck there. How do you fix that for the next run?
Just a little bit more.
From this morning's qualification are just starting to come in now. Jackson Herter, kid out of Breckenridge, Colorado. He won the Continental Cup at the start of the Winter Games. Let's see if he can continue that run into the World Cup.
A little bit of style dropping into the pipe before a right side 720. A beautiful, huge switch down the pipe, 720 to the left. Right side 9 going big with a lead Japan, very, very in control of that rotation. And this, the double flare to the left and the double alley-oop rodeo 7. Wow, that was clean.
So double 12s back-to-back for Brendan McKay, and then we've got the doubles back-to-back for Jackson Herter at the bottom here.
Arguably not quite so technical as Brendan McKay's, but linking up those doubles is a massive feat in itself. So the judges will take note of that. Jackson going huge on that bottom hit. Look, this is the double
and 9. The landing on this. Look where he lands.
Beautiful landing. Sets him up absolutely flawlessly for this bottom hit. No noise at all. This is a trick made famous by Simon D'Artois, a #1 qualifier. So potentially Jackson Herter taking that from Simon and being like, yo, I can do that too.
Well, he made X Games in 2015 at the age of 15, but it's been a slow and steady rise through the ranks since then. Let's hear from Jackson.
Well, Jackson, talk us through that.
Oh, it was a lot better than qualifying runs. Speed's really good right now, so boys are getting sandy.
And that is a wonderful prospect. Thank you, Jackson. Best pipe skiers in the world at the first World Cup of the season. And we have perfect conditions in a perfect pipe. Yeah, this is a recipe for absolutely brilliant pipe skiing. I'm really looking forward to this. Okay, 83.6. It knocks Lyman Currier out of the top 3. He slides in just behind Noah Bowman in second. And our current leader, Brendan McKay. Back up to the top, though. And the New Zealand contingent here in their home pipe will be watching this man very, very carefully. Miguel Porteous, older brother of Nico, who took bronze in Korea back in 2018. And you can see Nico, he's acting as his caddy there.
Yeah, Nico and Miguel very, very close, the two brothers. Nico taking this one off just to take a relax and a chill during this summer. But, I mean, all the Porteous hopes and New Zealand hopes in this competition rest on Miguel right now. So plenty of pressure for him, but he's been in this situation many times before. Second place in his first ever X Games. I think you mentioned that before, Ed. But that was an amazing feat, and it just rocket launched Miguel into the stratosphere as far as half-pipe skiing is concerned.
Okay. You get that home advantage, but you also get that extra pressure added in. But he knows this pipe like the back of his hand. Let's see what he can do.
Left side, double 12 on the first hit. Catching the deck. Please be okay, Miguel. It's going to be sore no matter what, but he's straight to his feet. That's going to be a shake. Looks like Miguel's all right. He's going to call it a day and probably get checked out pretty quick there. But, yeah, regardless of any injury, it's smart standing on the top of that pipe.
Oh, and disappointment there for Miguel Porteous. He's gone straight through, doesn't want to stop for the cameras. Understandable. He's just been bitten off very, very heavily. Huge, but he just didn't get the pop. And then he deck chairs, just collapses onto that deck.
These pipe walls are at high of 22 feet. So not only did Miguel come down from about 12, 15 feet to that flat ice, but dropped in about 20 feet after that as a secondary fall. So very sore, but it does look like he's all right.
In amongst the pipe crew, that is known as a jack in the box, and it's the worst way to go down. Okay, next skier in, Burke Irving. Just seen his sister go. Kid out of Winter Park in Colorado. Straight into the pipe. No messing.
There's a beautiful double cork 1440. Very, very rare, that trick, because it's so hard. Switch down the pipe, right side 720 into a beautiful double 900. A very unique rotation for Burke Irvin, and a 900 lead Cuban to finish it off. Wow, that was a statement from...
That was phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal from Burke Irving. We talked about this kid. He won the Youth Winter Olympic Halfpipe in 2016, and he's transitioned, as you said, Woodsy, seamlessly into the big leagues.
Absolutely. With no time at all, Burke Irving went from a grommet that you kind of saw every now and again to this. Just exceptionally unique, stylish, and world-class halfpipe skier.
First man we've seen open with a 1440, and you can see what it means to everyone at the top.
Well, Burke, the 2 fist pumps at the end says it all, I suppose. You're pretty happy with that?
Yeah, very psyched to win the first one. Haven't done that today, so it's nice to get it out of the way. First run's always the scariest.
Okay, 1440, first hit, first run, all landed. Where on earth is Burke Irving going to take this run? Probably more importantly, where are the judges going to take their scores? They're running out of room. Just 5 points left at the top of the scale for the judges after Burke Irving's score comes in. A 95 unseats Brendan Meat McKay from the top spot. Noah Bowman slides into third. Jackson Horta, Lyman Courier round out the top 5. But first place qualifiers still to drop. Simon D'Artois, a.k.a. the Dart, out of Canada.
No stranger to the top spot, and no stranger to the pressures of dropping in last after qualifying first. Huge air to fakie mute grab. Beautiful way to start a half-pipe run. Switch down the pipe. Was that a switch down the pipe 12?
I think so.
My goodness, we're going to have to count that back on the replay. But wow, what a statement. Huge statement from Burke Irvin coming out with that double cork 1440. And Simon D'Artois backing it up the next run. I can't wait to see him land that in the next 2.
Someone go and get Steele Spence a paper bag, because I bet you he's hyperventilating in there.
This is it right here. This is... Nah, that's a 10. No, excuse me, that's a 12. That's absolutely a switch down the pipe, 1260. I don't know if anyone's done that before.
Okay, Simon, what happened up there?
Just went a bit low on that switch 12 and couldn't really hold on to it, so had to pull out, go for a second run.
Easy to fix for run 2?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
No, sorry, Simon, not easy to fix for round 2. Not a chance. This is some of the most high-level half-pipe skiing we have ever seen. So, Simon D'Artois, best of luck to you, but no, not an easy fix.
Okay, some big names a long way down the standings there, and already the scores are in the stratosphere. 95 for Burke Irving, 92.4 for Brendan McKay, 88.8 for Noah Bowman. Those top 3 spots are going to take some unseating, but with names like Simon D'Artois and Miguel Porteous down in 9th and 10th, Aaron Blunk in 7th, Lyman Courier in 5th, this is going to be a very, very interesting final as we heat up through the 2nd and 3rd runs. Right now, though, it's back to the women's. Again, we run in reverse order of qualification. So Svea Irving, Wu Meng, Sabrina Kakmakli, we've said it before, the sole European. And then we've got this really strong Korean and Chinese field. Eileen Gu currently leading the standings with a very, very strong first run. It's going to be difficult to chase, but Kexin Zhang and Li Fanghui have both got what it takes. We start, though, with Svea Irving. You've just seen her brother, Burke Irving, in the men's. Currently sat in the top spot, having opened with a 1440. Can she keep that family tradition rolling and move into the top spot here?
Well, Burke certainly came out of the gate firing. So did Svea. Love to see, them both on the podium. I'm sure not as much as Mum and Dad would, but let's see how much she's got coming in. Svea Irving on course. Big 900 to start things off. That's to the left. Right side 3. Lead Japan, setting her up for the switch. Down the pipe 360, getting the mute. Very similar to run 1. A big flare. Not quite as smooth as she would like, to be honest. First one was good.
Yeah, I thought the 9 was a little bit bigger and each of the 3s were bigger. But she's struggling with that flare. We saw her spread the skis on her first run to try and control this, and she does the same here. She hasn't quite got that rotation on lock yet.
Yeah, it's a very weird rotation. More thinking makes it harder for the flare, and it does look like she's struggling with a grab there. You see her reaching down for a Japan, and that's difficult because it just throws off the rotation.
Okay, a 55.4 on the first run, 35 on the second run. Svea Irving with it all to do on her third and final run. Okay, next in, the Wu Meng clan. I love saying that, it's not going to get old. So she's on a 72 at the moment, which is 5th position. She's only 10.2 points off a podium position. So, tidy this run up, send it a bit bigger. Could be looking at a podium at the first World Cup of the season, Wu.
Yeah, we're looking for her to go bigger, and she's doing exactly that with a 900. Little bit caught up in the transition. There's a lot of G-forces going through these transitions, so you have to land those tricks absolutely perfectly to not get chewed up and spat out like, unfortunately, she did then.
I tell you what, Sabrina Kakmakli, her ski came off with way less pressure than this. I reckon she wants to go and see the Chinese ski tech to get the din setting off her.
Yeah, well, I mean, all of the pressure's going through the body and the ski. That didn't look that pretty, really, did it?
It looked like it buckled.
It looks like she's absolutely fine, though, thankfully.
Okay, 72 first run score is the one that will count for Wu Meng at the moment. And just like Svea Irving before her, it will all come down. Coach is in there again. Speed is your friend. Send it. It's all going to come down to third run. Sabrina Kakmakli needs this second run to give her some freedom to work with the third run. She has to land this.
She absolutely does. There's nothing worse than having all the pressure in the world on your third run. It's a very interesting mental game having 3 runs to play with. It's almost arguably harder than only having 2. Switch down the pipe 7 to start this up. A beautiful way for Sabrina to start her pipe run. Left side 5, containing it but getting a better grab than run 1.
Better
Same with the
amplitude
right.
as well.
Yes. A big tail grab to set up for her bottom hit. This is where she came unstuck last run. Right side 7, not a problem.
Not as the right side 7, the last trick wasn't as big, but you can see how much it means to her to put that one down.
Yeah, a huge sigh of relief, absolutely. I'm going to go ahead and speculate, but I'm pretty sure she's borrowing somebody else's helmet right now after that crash on run 1.
Yeah,
this
maybe
is
a
the
crack in that then.
Yeah. That was the right side 540 into a straight air, which is going to set her up into her big trick down the bottom. This is the 7, where she came unstuck before. A little bit smaller, like you said, Ed, but this time, flawless.
Well, Sabrina, very happy to put that one down.
Oh, I'm so relieved and happy to put it down. Again, crashed on the first run. Had a pretty heavy hit on my head, cracked my helmet, but I'm glad I made it. Oh.
Okay, confirmation there. As you said, Woodsy, she cracked her helmet, so she's borrowing one. 76.6 is the redemption score. Not quite enough for the podium positions, but not far off. And it gives her a platform to build on for her third and final run. Now, though, it is the turn of Jang Eugene of Korea.
I love that secret handshake with Coach Pete Olenek. He's certainly keeping the vibes chill, relaxed, and keeping the spirit of free skiing alive, really. I couldn't think of anyone better to do it for this Korean team.
Yeah, a full quota of Stoke for Yang Eugene as she drops in.
I'd love to see her put this run down nice and smooth. It started off well with a left side 540 mute. Right side 3, not a great deal of amplitude. Let's see if she can build it up on her way down the pipe. Left side switch, down the pipe 360. Right side 540, it's small, she's got to bring it out of somewhere. And there's a left side 7, which she didn't have before. It was only a left side 5 before. That seems like the full run, but lacking the amplitude, if I'm honest.
Yeah, she cuts really hard at this point. It felt like she got on the edges and killed the speed on the second hit.
It's nice, she's doing everything she planned, but exactly as you say, Ed, the line down the pipe is essential for maintaining speed, therefore amplitude. Beautiful 7 to finish it off, though. I do like that trick.
Okay, Eugen, tell us about that.
Okay, so it is super fun out here, super beautiful day, and I'm so stoked. I just landed my run, so yay! I don't know how to say. Yeah, so look at my fun meter.
The fun meter is absolutely maxed out there. That is a good thing to see. I wonder if she ever pulls the arrow down.
I'm sure that sometimes it comes down, but on a day like this, it's perfect conditions. And of course, she knows that she can improve that run. However, she's not going to let it phase her. She's going to get up that back up there. That's why we keep on saying, have a good time while you're doing it and bring up for this third run.
Okay, 73.4. That's sliding in just behind Sabrina Katmackley, puts her in 6th position. At the moment, our top 3, Eileen Gu in first, Kexin Zhang in 2nd. And she's got somewhere to go now. Very, very strong first run.
Very strong. I mean, a score in the mid-80s in this field is very, very impressive. We saw her step up from qualifications, absolutely. And again, right now, beautiful back-to-back switch. Well, there's the switch 9 on that one switch. Down to pipe 3, setting herself up for a nice bottom hit. Switch, forwards, right side, 540 mute grab. Beautiful way to end a run, which was almost entirely backwards.
I wonder, it feels like that's a lovely opener, isn't it?
Yeah, a beautiful 720 to start things off into this array of switch hits. 900s down the pipe both ways. That's incredible technical difficulty. Look for the difficulty wheel when she gets a score. It's going to be right off the charts. The execution lacking for a bit. Amplitude really high. She's got a great mix, if you ask me, and a bit different to the other girls in the field.
Yep, and that's going to give the judges pause for thought. Some originality there from Kexin Zhang, the 17-year-old. She won the Secret Garden World Cup on home turf in China back at the start of the 2018-19 season. So she's got some pedigree. Didn't do so well at the ANC comp here a couple of weeks ago. She wasn't feeling it, but should be an improvement. 91! Oh, Zhang Kexin, look at the difficulty. Oh!
Difficulty off the charts, variety off the charts. Execution was the only thing letting her down, but with a score of 91 flat, how can you say it let her down?
Okay, Kexin Zhang is taking it to Eileen Gu and Valeria Demidova. Demidova currently in 3rd position with an 82.2. There's now a bit of daylight between her and the top spot. She's got to reel it in.
Yeah, there absolutely is. It's time for everybody to lace it up perfectly. Valeria, big flare to the right to start it off. Even bigger flare to the left, landing nice and high on the wall, just the way we like it. It's smooth. There's a right side 720. Switch right, alley-oop 5, switch left, alley-oop doing it both ways, 360. She's squeezing in another hit that we haven't seen before. Left side 7 to finish it off, and that might have just been the ticket that the judges were looking for from Valeria Demidova, that extra hit at the end.
Okay, very, very good run, stepping up. And it's fair to say, when you start watching these replays, women's skiing, half-pipe skiing, in terms of its switch ability, has gone through the roof this season.
Their technical expertise has gone through the roof, just exactly as you said. It's brilliant to see. And you know what's making me so excited is these girls, they don't just have a routine that they can just repeat, and that's all they got. They've got the ability to see a girl step up and step up with them. It's amazing. Valeria Demidova.
Okay, 2 runs from 2 for Valeria.
Well, Valeria, you got that extra hit in that you were looking for. You're happy?
It's better, I think, but it's not the best what I want. I think it's going to be better, for sure.
Okay, it's not going to be better. It's exactly the same score as your first run score, Valeria. So, 82.2. She's got some work to do, but exactly as you say, Woodsy, we've got Zhang Kexin of China on an 85.4 and a 91. We've got Valeria on an 82.2 twice. So consistency really coming through in these runs. Eileen Gu, we've seen her playing with her runs. We know that she's got the chance to go for a 9 on that first hit. What is she going to show us now she's under pressure?
She's under pressure. She has to step it up, Eileen Gu. If she wants to take the triple threat win here in Cardrona, she has to step it up. Well, she's got a beautiful lead Cuban on that first 540. Left side 540 Japan. She's certainly going big. She's getting the grabs. Right side 720. Looks like she's going to clean up this run. Even bigger on the switch down the pipe 7 Japan. And a massive alley-oop 180 mute. Now, the same run as we've seen before. It was better in my opinion. She went bigger. She got the grabs. But honestly, if she's going to make a 3-point leap, I think she has to step up the tricks. I'm not sure though, but I think.
This is what the judges are going to be discussing now, this 5 to 5. We've seen switch 9 to switch 9 from Zhang Kexin of China. And no matter how big she goes here, no matter how clean she is, the difficulty perhaps can't step her up into this realm. The amazing thing is, though, that we're seeing her respond to the pressure.
That's what's fantastic to see. These girls are competitors now. They're not just robots, you know, that go down with a run that they have. They can adapt to see what the other girls are getting.
One more point.
So,
Wait, no,
89. It's 0.2 of a point higher than the 88.8, but it's still 2 points shy of Zhang Kexin of China.
Last lap, okay.
So Eileen Gu with work to do on her third and final run, and that is a wonderful position to be in. Now it's the turn of first place qualifier Li Fang Hui. 91 to beat. Currently sat just outside the podium positions on a 79.2.
It was a beautiful first run, but we're looking for her to get the grabs and hold onto them. She went far bigger that first hit on that right side 5, missed the grab and obviously washed out. Looks like she's fine. That was a washout. That wasn't so much of a slam, but she knows the pressure's on her. She's sitting in fourth. She knows she's got to go bigger. She's got to do harder tricks, and she's got to hold on to those grabs. She's got a very experienced coaching team behind her. She knows what's going on, and she's feeling the pressure.
Yeah, 100%. I think she's watched the last 3 women come down and touch the sky with those runs. The amplitude that we've seen from Zhang Kexin, Eileen Gu and Valeria Demidova means that the pressure is on Li Fang Hui. She has got to send it on that first hit, and she was at the very edge of her abilities there. But Zhang Kexin, a 91 on her second run, puts her in the top spot. Eileen Gu chasing valiantly, but wasn't able to reel her in. That is setting up for a very, very good third and final run. Now it's the turn of the men, though, for their second runs. Here we go. Sam McKeon, Lyman Currier, Noah Bowman. Aaron Blunk has got somewhere that he wants to take it. Brendan McKay, our current leader after the first runs. Miguel Porteous on home snow is going to want to improve his first run because that was a nasty one for him. Came off on that first hit. Okay, so Sam McKeon of Canada, who's 21 years old.
He's qualified himself into this final. Absolutely, he's earned this right to be in the final. And with tricks just like that, left side, double cork 1260. That's the same trick that he went down on run 1. And honestly, it's very impressive. It's very unique, but that's a bread and butter trick for him. It's arguably a stylish setup trick to get him into the rest of the run. When you have 3 runs and only the best one counts, it can lull you into a little bit of a false sense of security. Beautiful double 12 on the first hit there. This is where it came unstuck. I was saying on the 3 runs, it can lull you into a bit of a false sense of security because you think, I've got 3 runs, I can land this. He doesn't push the pressure on you the same as 2 runs do, and that might arguably be a sign of inexperience right there with that pressure coming on.
So Noah, what happened out there?
You know, I had the speed going into it, but just didn't exactly get the pop I needed. Took a bit too much of a down the pipe line and just killed. I think I was just calling it too close to the deck, you know. just a little scary. Caught my right ski just on the coping there and kind of messed with me. But, you know, got one more run, so hopefully we can go and put it down.
Yeah, hopefully you can, Sam. Would be good to see that one landed. I love the last 270 degrees of rotation as he comes in there. Okay, Lyman Courier, you've been so excited about watching him ski again. He laid down a nice 77. It was a benchmark run. Where do you see him going now, Woodsy?
Honestly, I don't know what Lyman's going to do with this next run because he's come all the way back to New Zealand. He's landed his runs in qualies. He's qualified for the finals. He's put down a beautiful run in finals. He's got a very, very commendable score. He's got some serious points on the board for this season going forward. Lyman Courier, he's an immense competitor. Whether he's going to step it up, he's going to step it up. Left side, double cork 12, 60 to start it off. Right side 900, lead Japan, a beautiful way to start a run. There's a left side 9, fiddling with that grab, not quite getting it. A beautiful Lyman Courier signature move with an alley rodeo 7 and a switch down the pipe 7, a little backseat. That's disappointing, but honestly, he's not going to mind. He's got some points on the board. He's back in competition mindset. It's all gravy for Lyman Courier.
And the third hit, interestingly for me, I think he kind of let this run go on the third hit because he's got that lovely two-handed tail here, and he goes for it there and he misses it. And I think from that point on, he was like, okay, let this run go.
Yeah, he's an experienced competitor, and he knows that if you miss a grab so blatantly, if we amateurs in the booth can see it, then you know the judges can.
I think you're
Lyman, how do you tidy that up just for your last run?
Just gonna hopefully get my grabs a little better and not land in Kansas on that last one.
Not landing in Kansas. That was a great description for landing flat. One of the flattest states in the United States. Now it's the turn of Noah Bowman. Now he's got a fantastic score on the board, an 88.8. Just needs a bit of variety in his direction of spin. So we'll focus on that with this run.
It's always a beautiful super pad run from Noah Bowman. Right side 1080. This is such a unique trick, that switch left down to pipe 5. There's an alley-oop, double 9. It's gorgeous. Switch, double down the pipe, 1080 to finish it off for Noah Bowman. How close. You see his body touches the wall at the same time as his skis. It was such a tiny little mistake. The judges will see that. They'll dock him tremendously for it. But, my goodness, it was close to perfection.
And he's really taken note of that execution, the variety, hasn't he? We saw a lot of different spins in here.
Yeah, mixing it up, absolutely. Still heavily on the switch left direction. But look, switch alley-oop double to switch down the pipe double. It was the back-to-back doubles that we're seeing from Burke Irvin and Brendan McKay at the top of this leaderboard. Noah Bowman, match in suit.
If only the judges liked your butt hitting the wall, I suppose you would have been all right.
Yeah, but I don't like that, so not going to happen next time.
Okay.
Thanks.
That's what he's saying. 41-4. So the score doesn't matter for this one. Again, the difficulty's right up there, isn't it? So good indicator there, even though the execution goes right down. We got to see what the judges thought of the difficulty. Okay, next in Aaron Blunk.
If you're Burke Irvin sitting at the top of the rankings right now, even with a 95, you've got Aaron Blunk below you with 2 more runs to go. You're not sitting comfortable at all. Aaron Blunk is certainly one of the biggest names in halfpipe skiing, not just now, but ever. And truthfully, this is why. Dropping in switch, a beautiful way to start a halfpipe run. Switch, double, completely blind 900 from Aaron. Switch back-to-back doubles down the pipe. Aaron Blunk on cruise control now. Double alley-oop, flat spin. No, that just can't happen. He looks like he's completely fine, just absolutely devastated. What an incredible step up from Aaron Blunk.
That was immense, wasn't it? He really wanted to put the pressure on for those third runs, but it slipped through his fingers on the last hit. That trick is ridiculous. He's like he's reversing an 18-wheeler blind.
Absolutely blind. Blindfold on and no mirrors and blacked out windshield just for good measure. This is the double down the pipe flat spin. You see how hard he popped off the vert there and lands way in the bottom. Not even, I mean, that's an impossible superhero landing. It's so high to flat. But
as we just saw from Noah Bowman, that was Kansas out there. There was no transition left to land in for Aaron Blunk. So 22, and the first run score is 33-2. Aaron Blunk is under pressure here at the FIS World Cup Freeski Halfpipe Finals. Starting to get into the business end of the second run. Halfway through this comp now, things are stepping up. Brendan McKay currently in second place on a 92.4 behind Burke Irving's incredible 95. Where is Brendan McKay going to go with this run?
He has to go up. He can't sit back. He's a world-class competitor, and he knows that there's plenty more of his like behind him. He has to improve on this so that he can comfortably walk away from this competition. A huge switch down the pipe, left side 720 into the alley-oop rodeo 540 double grab. Left side double 12 coming off. I'm wondering right now whether this pipe, with the hot sun that we've got out here right now, is just getting a little bit oververt. We've seen multiple. We've seen Lyman Courier, we've seen Aaron Blunk, and now Burke Irving. 3 out of 4 of the last riders on that self-same hit coming off the wall a little bit. Is there a kink in the pipe that's going on? If there is, the professionals that are doing this competition have to take note of that and notice they're going to have to pop less on that 3rd/4th hit area.
Because the sun is just eating the wall away underneath the vert.
Okay, it's starting to heat up out there. How's the pipe holding?
Still perfect. It's fast and a bit soft, so good sending conditions, I guess.
Interesting. Well, maybe Brendan hasn't seen it, but we get a unique perspective from here in the commentary booth. And when you see 3 people at this level make exactly the same mistake, then you've got to ask a question, because they're very, very uncharacteristic mistakes from Brendan McKay, Noah Bowman, and Lyman Courier. So, next in, Taylor Seaton, T-Sizzle. Had a lovely first run, couldn't quite lay it down all the way to the bottom of the pipe.
Oh, a big step up from Taylor Seaton. Double cork 1260 on his first hit into a huge 900. This is a step up run, absolutely so far. Alley-oop, very unique rodeo 5. There's a, beautiful alley-oop 720. Oh, there's a little squiggle on the 360, but he's squeaking in a final switch hit right into, Lyman Courier called it, right into Kansas.
Okay, he managed to tuck that one in nicely. You've got to give this guy some credit. I mean, Taylor Seaton, 29 years old. A lot of people get to 26, 27, and they're just not prepared to go the extra mile to get tricks like that in their repertoire. Taylor Seaton chasing hard in the progression.
That is a huge thing in the free ski game, is the commitment to the cause, really. This is a beautiful trick from Taylor. He's very, very stylish. A lot of attributes coming from the likes of Tanner Hall from back in the day. Right there with the 360 is where this run let him down, and then it didn't really set him up very well for the switch 720 at the end. It's a very clean run. He landed it well, a little bit lacking on grabs though.
Okay, Taylor, you look stoked to have landed that. You got to be happy.
Absolutely. Haven't thrown a dub in a couple of years and still got 6 hits in, so stoked. Got a little bit of room to clean up, so always room for improvement, which is always nice. Never could be perfect.
Okay, that is a mark of just how good they feel this pipe is, that if he hasn't thrown a double in a couple of years, but he wants it here. 64.8. There's a 12 in the run, and it doesn't even make top 5. That is where we're at these days in the standard of men's World Cup pipe skiing. Next in, Jackson Herter. He won the Continental Cup here at the beginning of the Winter Games. He's currently just outside the podium positions on an 83.6.
Now Jackson's got the big tricks at the beginning and the end of the run. And he, oh goodness me, that 720. Missing the grab, unfortunately, but he's going to continue down this run. Switch 720 mute. Big double cork, 1260 to the right. Yeah, a little bit sat down. It was wobbly from the beginning of this run, to be honest with you. But what I was going to say about Jackson at the beginning, he's got the big tricks. Now he just needs to clean up the little ones, just like this. You know, this just comes from years and years of experience in the pipe in all conditions to hold on, even if you feel a little bit sketch. Massive right side double cork 1260, little bit squirrely, missed the grab.
Well, it didn't look like he actually went for a grab.
Well, you went for it, and how do you tidy it up for run 3?
I just got to be a little bit more patient, try to pull into the second a bit earlier. Not bad. It's been the first one for a while, so hyped I lived.
Honestly, Jackson focusing really hard on the double cork 1260, and I think that's why we saw a little bit of wobbly in front of it, and it's just another sign of a young competitor. He will get better over time.
Okay, back up to the top now. Current leader, Burke Irving. Can he extend his lead? He's currently on a 95. He's looked so clinical through qualifiers and finals so far. I cannot wait to see if he can add to this run.
I mean, that was on the first run of 3. 2 runs is a regular competition field. I mean, these guys qualified for this final with just 2 runs to play with. Double cork 1440, an unprecedented move except for Nico Porteous in the Winter Olympics, and that earned him second in the Olympics. And now Burke doing it in a World Cup final, first one of the season. A beautiful run thus far. And what a fancy little, I don't know, new school down the pipe, flat spin 360. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
It's beautiful. It's almost stalling and rewinding, isn't it? Here's the 14, though, up top. You said Nico Porteous won bronze with that in Korea. And then he comes in, and we've seen the same thing in the snowboarding, the quad corks becoming a regular part. And here in ski pipe, the 14 is becoming a standard part of a repertoire. Let's take a look at this final hit, though. This is wild, Woodsy.
Yeah, this is very, very fancy. Check it out. It's just stalling a rotation which should be completed. It's impossible if you don't. That's incredible, mate.
Okay, but do you think that top run, your first run?
No, not exactly what I was looking for, but hopefully next round.
Okay, 84.2. I wonder where do you think he saw that?
There was definitely a lacking of amplitude in the 14. It wasn't quite as clean as the first. Of course, there was the wow factor of the first run as well, but it certainly wasn't as clean. I mean, Burke Irving knows that a 95 is a sign of a flawless run, which that second one wasn't quite.
Okay, Simon D'Artois dropped his first run. Pressure just starting to build, but he's got enough experience. This shouldn't faze him.
He certainly does. He's still keeping it cool. A beautiful mute grab, my favourite grab. On that first hit, Erdefegi switched down a pipe 1260 where he came on stuck on run 1. And wow, a huge switch 7 into a left side double 12. Simon D'Artois, please lace up this bottom hit. It's your signature move. And goodness me.
Oh! That was like a fishtail in NASCAR. How did he hold on to that? He made it look like it was standard. Big question is, judges going to mark him down for execution on that landing?
I would hate to say that they will, but I think they will. See, they'll also mark him down for execution of that switch 12, although it's an incredible move that I don't know if anybody else in the world can do. He did miss the grab. He missed the grab on that 720 and landed deep. This double cork 1260 is basically flawless, but right here, double alley-oop, rodeo 720, lands good, skirt, and disguises it like a true professional. But goodness me, doesn't it look like that's what he meant to do? But it wasn't.
Well, Simon, talk us through that. You happy with it?
Yeah, pretty happy. I mean, I would like to clean up the landing on the last hit there, but just happy to put one down, and we'll send it next round and see how she goes.
Okay, let's see what the judges think of it. The score should be in now.
Hey, shout out to Molly, fiancé Simon D'Artois, freshly proposed, dude.
Oh, is he? He's now engaged.
Yeah. It's all going on for Simon D'Artois, I'll tell you what. And I'm very interested to see what the judges do with this, because, again, there is an aspect. Simon D'Artois has done a run like that so many times, and he's done it flawlessly in the past.
79.8. So you can see the execution there at 6 o'clock. Difficulty, amplitude, variety, all up there. He just needs to work on that execution for the third and final run. But he's got one on the board at the very least.
Thanks, man.
Okay, so let's take a look at the results after second run of 3. Burke Irving's first run score still stands, as does Brendan McKay's, Noah Bowman's and Jackson Herter's. Only Simon D'Artois moves up. Lyman Currier in 6th. Miguel Porteous, DNS. A very, very big hit that he took on the first jump in the pipe on his first run. Disappointing not to have him with us for the second and third runs. We'll bring you any news we have on his condition as we find out, though. Now we move back across to the women's, though. A little bit of snack time for everyone at the bottom as they take a breath, because this is going to heat up. Svea Irving, Wu Meng, Sabrina Kak-Mackley. Then Kexin Zhang dropping in 5th. She is the current leader. We've got Valeria Demidova in 3rd position, and Eileen Gu is in 2nd. She's had a victory lap in both the Continental Cups in halfpipe and slope. She is going to be made to work if she wants a victory here in the World Cup, the first of the season. So Brother Burke sat on top of the men's standings after 2 runs. Can Svea move up in the women? She's currently in 8th. She's got a 55.4 as her best score from the first run. And yeah, she needs to push this.
Yeah, and it's the very first hit for Svea Irving right now. It's the 900. She's doing it on the skier's right wall, the soft wall. So she does have the ability, the pipe's going to allow for her to have a little bit more wobble than the icy wall would, but she has to land this first hit really, really solid to set the precedent for the rest of the run. There it is, a little small, but she gets it, a little bobble in the transition, lacking for speed again, but she is underway. 360 into the switch down a pipe 360. Flare where she struggled before, but she gets it this time. She's going to finish this run with a left side 7, manages to stay on her feet, a little bit of a bobble, but stays on her feet. It's not a complete wipeout.
I think the first run was cleaner. I think we're going to see the first run was bigger. I think maybe that pipe getting softer. It's starting to thieve a little bit of speed away. She has actually got more amplitude on both of these hits. She had the back-to-back 3s, but still that flare doesn't look like that flare's a comfortable part of her run, but she's added a hit there.
Yeah, she squeaked in a final hit with that 720, which is great to see. Exactly as you say, she's a little bit uncomfortable reaching down for the grab on the flare, and it does just look like the speed slowing down for her on the 900. It's the big trick of the run, and it's obviously where she's focusing all of her attention.
Okay, well, it'd be interesting to see that added extra hit, if that can punch up the 55.4 that she's on at the moment. You'd say it might be a question of the extra hit versus the amplitude that she's lost. Yeah, 54.2. So Svea Irving, a lot of experience gained by making the finals here, but it will be 8th place for her. Next in, Wu Meng of China. So far things have run to script in terms of qualifying. Wu Meng qualified in 7th, Svea Irving in 8th, and that's where both of them are sat at the moment. So the big challenge for Wu Meng is improving this 72 and trying to reel in at least Yang Yujin just above her in 6th.
She did try and step it up on run 2. This is run 3. She's putting that 900 in again. Gets it this time. You hear her shout. She's happy about it. Now composed for the rest of the run. Right side, 540. Left side, 720. Into her switch section. Switch down the pipe 3. Lacking for a grab, but she's got that extra trick up top. Left side, 540. Down in the bottom of this half pipe, alley-oop, 180 double grab. She stepped it up. She went bigger than she's done before.
Too low, I think she said. A lot of left-sided spins there as well. She's got the left 9 to open up. And she's got that right 5, but then it's the left 7.
We'll see the variety wheel not at its highest on this one, absolutely. However, as far as she is concerned, previously with a 72 flat, I'd say that it's probably going to be up there around that territory. It might not have been quite so clean, might not have had quite the same amount of amplitude, but she did step up to a 900 on the first hit, so difficulty will be more.
Okay, that's what the judges are talking. She needs a 73.4 if she's going to jump up into 6th. And it's a relatively short distance, just 6 points separating 6th and 4th at the moment. So it won't take much to really go through the gears and push herself up the standings here. But my gut feeling is that there's a ceiling, an absolute ceiling of 75 there. But
what am I?
She's waiting patiently. I'm not fluent in Mandarin, but I'm guessing that was... What's taking them so long? She looks a little bit impatient. Oh, 76-2. It's a big move forwards. You called it, Woodsy. The difficulty has gone through the roof. So it pushes Wu Meng up into 6th position. Just agonizingly close to Sabrina Kakmakli, who's next in. But Sabrina currently on a 76.6, so 0.4 ahead of Wu Meng. She needs to improve by at least 3. She's going to pull in Li Fanghui in 4th. Needs to jump into the 80s. An 82.2 will get her into the podium positions and unseat Valeria Demidova.
Well, she's got the technical ability absolutely through this half pipe. This first hit, the switch down the pipe, big spin 720 is a very brilliant way to start. Oh no, that's not going to cut it. You can hear she just slipped out in that flat bottom, and this will not be better than her previous runs. But again, she landed the big switch 7 on her first hit. That's a statement, and of course she stayed upright and she's put some good points on the board. It's not going to be an improvement.
We haven't seen anyone else struggling like this. You see, watch her land this first hit, and then in the flat bottom there,
she just goes to pump and boom, just loses the rail, loses all of that speed in the flat bottom. It's got to be absolutely flawless, or it's not going to cut a mustard.
So Sabrina, a tough day today, but you've enjoyed yourself?
Yeah, it's an amazing day. Bluebird pipe is perfect. I'm happy to be out here. Not the result I was hoping for, but that just fires me up to train more. Get it.
Okay, we can look forward to seeing Sabrina back and nailing those tricks at the next World Cup. Now though, it's the turn of Jang Yujin of Korea. There's the fun meter on her bib. She's always stoked. Ah, I wonder what you're talking about with the handshake.
Well, you missed the handshake before. It's good.
It's lovely. Yeah. There's a little bit of kind of Sound of Music about it.
Don't tell Peter that. But I do love it. All right, so she does have it all to play for in this third run. She did land a good second run, but she does have more in the tank. I'd love to see her lace it up. Left side 5 to start off. That's a softer wall where the sun's on it is slowing down. You're seeing the amplitude lacking throughout the day consistently. Left side 720. That was Sabrina Kakmakli's big opening trick. She does it in the middle of a run. Quite impressive, and finishes it on a 720. Cleaner than previously, but smaller.
Yeah.
Smaller on the amplitude, and that is a huge wheel the judges use.
Yeah, that's the multiplier, isn't it, essentially? If you were playing pinball, the amplitude is the multiplier that just sends all the other scores through the roof. And it's the 4th hit down here. She takes off a little bit early on this one and then clips her ski, nearly gets hung up. This redeems her slightly. There's a nice 7 at the bottom there, but...
Oh my God.
We're seeing some clean skiing all round, exactly as you say, Ed, the right side 540. She does take off a little bit early. She sort of jumps just before her time on that, so that's going to be a huge takeaway from this competition, as that's been consistent over training, qualifications and finals today. But really, a brilliant competition for her, to be honest. She's landed 3 runs out of 3. They might not have been perfect, but it is a very good way to start the season. Currently, what is that, 5th in the world?
Exactly. Well, no, at the moment, 7th, but yeah, like you say, 3 solid runs landed, 70.2, so it's not quite as high as the second run score of 73.4. So 7th place for Yang of Korea. But we start looking through, and there is a lot of consistency here. In the podium positions, Zhang Kexin of China currently has an 85 and a 91.
So she will be going into this run feeling very confident, but she knows there's some big heavy hitters underneath her. It's still yet to drop. That's that beautiful 720 mute that set her up beautifully in this pipe. Switch down the pipe 900. Back to back in them up, left and right. Both switch down the pipe 900s. Left side 360. And then a big right side 540 mute grab. That's the same run that got her that 91. I don't know, it's in the judges' hands whether it's better, but it's very, very similar. That is Absolutely. There's a beautiful 720 to start things off. She's so consistent switching the pipe, really challenging all of the girls with these back-to-back switch 9s. That's very, very difficult. The difficulty scale off the charts. I don't think we've ever seen girls do that before. And she's not doing it badly at all. They're so high. They're about 6 feet out of this lip, which is very impressive.
This is China. It's the free skiing equivalent of China pulling a silk sheet off a nuclear weapon, isn't it? She is their new super weapon. Back-to-back switch 9s. The difficulty is ramped up there. It's an 89. It's not going to overhaul her 91, but you look at all 3 run scores there. 85-4, 91, 89. Zhang Kexin is the real deal, and she has the consistency to back up the difficulty. She is going to be a very, very strong competitor. Okay, up at the top now. Ready to drop in. It's Valeria Demidova of Russia, just settling herself, visualizing this run. Currently in 3rd position on an 82.2. Eileen Gu is on an 89, Zhang Kexin on a 91.
She's been incredible this entire competition so far, starting it off with a big right side flare, left side flare to back it up, just the way she has done. She's been posting high scores with this same run, it looks like so far. Switch alley-oop, 540 into the switch, left alley-oop 3. She's going to squeeze in another hit. Yes, she is. Left side at 720. I'm going to say cleaner than run 1. She's got one more big bullet left to dodge with Li Fanghui, so she definitely wants to try and improve and give herself as much buffer room as possible.
Yeah, Li Fanghui is just 3 points behind her. Eileen Gu is 6.8 points ahead of her. I don't know if this run is 7 points better than what she's doing.
I'm not sure that it's gonna get up in the grill of Eileen Gu or Kexing at the top, but she can put a bit of daylight between her and 4th place, which is no doubt what she's trying to do. I mean, she's guaranteed 4th. Will it be 4th or 3rd? I'd say that that's the battle she's facing.
Okay, well, Valeria Demidova of Russia waiting on this 3rd run score. First 2 scores were exactly the same, 82.2. But she said in both of the interviews then that she could do better. Oh, it's a stony face. It's certainly not a celebrating face.
Well, Valeria Demidova does have the run. She's got the ability to be taking out these competitions. She does. She's right there in the mix, and this is a fantastic opportunity for her to do so. So she is playing with a podium position, and I know that she's going to want that. Of course, who wouldn't?
Yep. Well, to start the season on the podium is the dream. I mean, you want to win, but as we heard Robbie Moresi say at the start, the plan is to have 6 big airs, 6 slopestyles, 6 pipe contests. And if that's the case, a win is, it's not like we've got a season flooded with big World Cup events. You've got 6 chances to get your hands on that crystal globe at the end of the season. And this, starting here with a strong result, is a big, big part of it.
Without the likes of Cassie Sharp, Kelly Sildrew in this field, and a few other big heavy hitters in the women's field that aren't here at the first World Cup, these guys are going to really try and improve. Oh my goodness, she's improved a lot.
87.8, the execution has moved right up there. The amplitude's still down, but 87.8. It's only 1.2 points shy of Eileen Gu. But exactly as you said, Woodsy, Li Fanghui in 4th place now has a lot of work to do. Next in, it's the woman who's cleaned up every comp down here so far. She's taken out the slope and pipe Continental Cups. And she's certainly knocking on the door of the likes of Cassie Sharp and Kelly Sildaro. Eileen Gu, just 16 years old.
Oh, this is exciting. That looks like she's setting up for something. She knows, everybody knows that she's been flawless so far. She needs to step up the technical difficulty, and she needs to do it as flawlessly as she has been previous if she's going to take the top spot here at this competition. And judging by her interviews, that's what she wants.
Okay, she got bitten off hard on a right 9 on this first hit. Is she going to go for it?
There it is, right side at 900 to start things off. All she needs to do is get back into her flow. Big left side 540 Japan. It's looking good so far. Right side 720, beautifully smooth. Switch through the half pipe. Biggest we've seen. Switch hit of the day. Alley-oop 180 mute grab to finish it off. Wow. Whether it was clean enough for the judges' liking or not, I do not know. But the fact that Eileen Gu stepped it up on the third run under the pump, that just proves she's a competitor to be reckoned with.
It was a little bit bumpy these first couple of hits, wasn't it? But then she missed the grab on that 9. But then you could say the same about Zhang Kexin as well.
You absolutely could. Zhang Kexin with the back-to-back switch down the pipe 9s. No doubt her run's harder. However, Eileen Gu, large amplitude, incredible switch down the pipe 7. She's got the style, she's got the sort of finesse that we'd love to see on top. However, Kexing Zhang, she had the technical difficulty on top.
Well, Eileen, you really had to bring it on that last run, and you certainly did. Tell us about it.
Yeah, honestly, again, like I said, every lap in the pipe is a practice lap. I always want to be out here doing my best, pushing myself, pushing the competition. I've definitely felt pushed today. So yeah, all I got to say is that like I dropped in and just thought about how fun skiing was, how much I love this sport, and just did it for fun. Yeah, regardless of score.
Without question, the most mature 16-year-old you're ever likely to meet. Eileen Gu on an 88. Her best score is an 89, so she won't get that elusive win at the start of the World Cup season. Zhang Kexin of China is going to wait very nervously now to see what Li Fanghui does, our last competitor in. Certainly she hasn't looked as terrifying in the finals as she did in qualifying.
Now her superpower, her prime attribute in the superpipe is her technique. She must still put the tricks on top of that to get onto this podium. She's 4th right now. Right side to left side, 540s up top. Very clean. There's a 720, dropping in switch. They're almost better switch in the pipe than they are forwards. It's incredible. You'd never thought you'd say that. And then a switch right side 900 to finish it off. The trick with the technical difficulty that's really put Kexi in the top spot. So this is going to be interesting at the very least for Valeria Demidova, sitting in 3rd currently.
Okay, so opening with that right 5. And like you said, Woodsy, it is the technique here. She's got really, really good foundations. Always putting the skis in at the top of the transition.
Yeah, she always lands at the top. That's why she manages to maintain the speed. She's obviously strong. She's got brilliant technique through these transitions. It's just the... oh, there's the 900 at the bottom. Switch down the pipe, 900 no less. Absolutely brilliant.
Okay, 81.6. It's very, very close, but it's not enough to break on to the podium. So, Valeria Demidova of Russia in 3rd. Eileen Gu in 2nd on 89. But there you have it. Zhang Kexin making those back-to-back 9s work so hard for her. And it was switch, Woodsy.
Unbelievable. That is an unprecedented trick in the women's superpipe category, and absolutely with the kind of amplitude that Kexin was giving us today. Unbelievable. We saw the lines that Eileen Gu. Just doesn't matter what kind of style or amplitude you bring to it. You can't beat technical ability like that. Unbelievable performance all round. I'd say the judges nailed that.
Okay, 3 Chinese in the top 4. Be warned, the Chinese are coming ahead of the 2022 Beijing Winter Olympics, and they mean business. They've got some very, very strong talent. Here, though, we come into the 3rd and final run of the men's first World Cup halfpipe final of the 2019-2020 season. And it's a big matchup between the superpowers of halfpipe skiing. With Miguel Portius out after the first run, it means it's a straight fist fight between Canada and the USA here. Right now, USA in the top spot, but Canada in 2nd and 3rd. Burke Irving making the 1440 on the first hit really work for him. Brendan McKay, Noah Bowman, Jackson Herter, all chasing him down. What's your feeling on this one, Woodsy? Where are we going?
Well, it's certainly going to be a fantastic third run of 3 in this final. We've got some amazing scores on the board at the moment. We've still got some of the best in the world yet to put down a clean as clean run. So everything could potentially change on this final run. We've also got some young guns who have not been in this position before, so they're wanting to really stake their claim in the half-pipe game.
Okay, Sam McKeon, he's dropped this second trick on both runs. Let's see if he can
scrubbing speed, but he manages it. Double 12-16 into an alley-oop 7. Now it's going to be the same alley-oop cork 720 that shuts down Sam. 3 runs of 3. Honestly, he's going to be absolutely devastated about that.
Yeah, when you've got 3 runs, there's no excuse not to put one down. But you made the point earlier on, it's just experience, competitive experience, knowing what mindset you have to be in at the start of the competition.
Yeah, and when you're dropping huge tricks like that double cork 1260 on your first hit, it's so hard to disregard an easier trick that's coming up afterwards. And that looks like, to me, what he did there.
Okay, so just not your day today?
Apparently not. I mean, walking away from it, I'll take it. It was my first World Cup back from an injury and first World Cup finals, so I'm happy where I ended up, and just you live and you learn, I guess. So hoping for a better day at next comp.
Great philosophical answer there from Sam McKeon. First World Cup finals, and he may not have taken out the top spot, but 9th position, that's a respectable first finals position.
It certainly is. That's 9th in the world, and there is a huge changing of the guards in this men's World Cup field right now, so good on him.
Okay, Lyman Courier, a long, long road back from injury. His goal that he set himself here was just to make finals, so he's relaxed and having fun now. And that's possibly the best mindset to be in, isn't it?
Absolutely. First competition, major competition back from injury in a long time. I know we keep talking about it with Lyman, but it is a fantastic comeback story. We've seen from run 2 that he's not willing to roll over and let it go, though. So it's the 3rd run for Lyman Courier. Massive double 1260 on the first hit. Flawless, as easy as a 900. There's a 900. Made it arguably look harder than the 12. Left side at 900. Back to back on those 900 spins. Alley-oop, rodeo 720. A beautiful trick. And a switch. Down a pipe 720. Easy as you like for Lyman Courier.
That's a classic painting by numbers pipe run, 12.9977.
It absolutely is.
But it's, you talk about that tempo, and he started with such a huge bang there, and he's kept the amplitude, but he's just getting, I suppose he's getting more stylish. The execution's getting better as he comes down here.
Yeah, the execution is just the technical difficulty that lacks for the bottom of the run, but the style, check this out, just the most laid-back trick in the world, and whips it round to switch for this final switch 720, and that's that boned-out nose grab that you like.
Well, I'm a great end to the run. Are you stepping it up for this season?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I just wanted to get a final under my belt and feel that competition pressure again. And yeah, I'm really stoked. You know, landed 2 out of the 3 runs in finals, so that's all I can really ask for. And yeah, hopefully be stepping it up in December.
Okay, we look forward to seeing Lyman Courier back on the highest stage, the World Cup season. Be interesting to see if he can get himself Dew Tour and X Games invites as well. Okay, back up at the top, Noah Bowman improved his first run score with his second. Where's he going to take this 3rd and final run? He's got the technicality, he's got the difficulty, he's got the amplitude. He just needs to put them all in one single run, and the podium positions will be his.
Right side at 1080, leading into his array of switch tricks. Noah Bowman does it better than anybody. Switch, double, alley-oop, 900 to the switch, double down the pipe, 1080. What an incredible run from Noah Bowman. Smooth as you like, his style second to none. He's seen Burke Irvin, Brendan McKay on the top of this podium. He's in 3rd. They have on him back-to-back doubles. And now Noah Bowman says, you know what, boys, I can do that, and I can do it backwards.
Yeah, this is a switch masterclass coming up here. Beautiful execution. He's carrying the speed. The amplitude is there. Look at the height on this last hit now as he comes in. This is huge.
Now, the only thing he's lacking for is it's a multitude of switch left side spins. What the judges are going to do with it, I don't know, because the technical aspects were brilliant.
Well, no, your first run was excellent. Do you think that one was even better?
Yeah, I think I stepped it up for that one, added the second double. Nice and clean. Had some fun, yeah, no complaints.
Okay, currently sat on an 88.8. Burke Irving is on a 95 in the top spot. Noah is currently in third. 92.4 is second position, where Brendan McKay is. So he's got to jump by at least 4 points. If he wants to go into second, it's going to be nearly 7 points if he wants to go into first.
Honestly, I've got to be honest, this has got to be an improvement on his first run score of an 88.8. The one thing the judges are looking for right now, when you see the 4 wheels appear on the right side of the screen, look at the V of Dave. It stands for variety, and if that wheel isn't cranked all the way up, that's going to be the one that does him some damage.
93.4. Difficulty is maxed out. Execution is very close to maxed out. As you said, Woodsy, variety's down, but 93.4 still. Noah Bowman has moved into second place, and now there is a lot of pressure on Jackson Herter, Simon D'Artois, Brendan McKay. Only Burke Irving was spared that advance in score from Noah Bowman. So now it's the turn of Aaron Blunt, yet another heavy hitter who could change this podium. At the moment, he is sat in 8th position. His best score is a 33.2. He's got to improve here.
And Aaron Blanc, he certainly will go for it. Backing down is not in this boy's dictionary. Switch, double, completely blind, 900. Into the switch, double, down the pipe, 1080. A little wobble, but not a problem for Aaron Blanc. A massive 900. He's containing this run. That was a 12 previously, but there's the finish in 12. Wow. Wow, Aaron Blanc, supreme competitor. You cannot write that kind of pressure.
That was phenomenal. You could hear the noise he was making landing at the bottom of those transitions, but he wasn't even taking time to straighten up. He was landing into the cut.
You can tell how fast he's going because he's in the air. He doesn't spend a second on the snow. This is his signature move. It's completely blind. He cannot even see the landing. No one on the planet can even conceive how to do that. Then this is the hardest done trick in the world. That's where you see he catches a little bit of an edge, but still manages to go to the moon on this 900.
And watch the drive now. Just boom, so off the outside ski and drives into this huge dub 12. Amazing, amazing run from Aaron Blanc.
Well, Aaron, forget the judges' points. It looks like you were going for air miles.
Yeah, straight up, pretty much just going all air miles on that one. Trying to get every last bit of that pipe left. Trying to break the record and just land with no pipe.
Well, he very nearly managed it with the 12. So, Aaron Blunt currently in 8th. I think it's safe to say he's moving up the standings. It's a 9 club up for the podium at the moment. Brendan McKay's on a 92.4 in 3rd. Noah Bowman's on a 93.4 in 2nd. Burke Irving on a 95 in 1st. How far up the standings is Blunt going? 92.8. It's good enough for 3rd place. 0.4 of a point ahead of Brendan McKay. And things are getting very, very tight at the top. Oh, okay, take a breath. Next in, Brendan McKay. He's just been knocked out of the top 3. He's got an instant rebuttal now. What's he going to throw to Aaron Blunt, Noah Bowman, and Burke Irving, the 3 men above him?
Yeah, Brendan!
He's only going to improve by 0.4 if he wants a podium position.
A hugely technical run from Aaron Blunt just now, but with 1 or 2 tiny little scrubs. So Brendan McKay has to be absolutely flawless. And that's the message the judges just sent him. So far, that is what he's being. Switch, huge 720 into the alley, rodeo 5, double cork 1260 into the other way, double cork 1260, and that sit down will not be the flawless landing that Brendan McKay so desperately needed.
And everything else for me was. The grabs were there, the amplitude was there. The execution, it was perfect. It was so difficult, so technical. And yet he made it look so easy.
I mean, that is what happens when Aaron Blanc is sitting underneath you. He comes in and he goes so big and puts the pressure on. Brendan McKay has competed flawlessly through this whole competition, but right at the end, they're just 1, 2, 3 getting knocked down, and the pressure just too much to hold on to that final hit. That is devastating for Brendan McKay, who posted such a huge score on his first run.
Well, Brendan, top class competition here. You contributed to it. Have you enjoyed your day?
Yeah, it's been awesome. The pipe's second, everyone's throwing down.
Okay, that is it in a nutshell. 71.8, I felt that was pretty cruel considering I think maybe the fabric of his pants touched the ground. He certainly got no traction from sitting on the back of the skis there, but Brendan McKay will have to settle for at best 4th. It could be worse. Taylor Seaton currently in 8th on a 64.8. Can he push that up?
Well, can he right now? I don't know, but he certainly has the ability to. Taylor Seaton, a world-class competitor for a very long time. He's got the minerals. He can do it. Double cork 1260. We saw him step it up on run 2, run 3 as well. Cleaner, if you like. Left side 900, capping the blunt on that trick too. Very big alley-oop, rodeo 540. Beautiful alley-oop 720. You see him firing across the middle of that pipe. That means he's going very, very quick. Switch 900 to switch 720 to finish it off.
Super stoked with that one. Noah Bowman, one of the first to congratulate him.
A very wholesome person and competitor. I mean, he goes out there and he's doing what he can do as well as he can, and he's really put it down. You can't help but be happy for him when you see his arms go in the air like that. That's not a claim, that's just a burst of pride.
Okay, the double 12 to start. And then he maybe hasn't gone quite as tech down at the bottom, but he's got incredible amplitude.
Yeah, look at the way that he tweaks that mute as well. You can't argue that it just looks good.
Lovely.
Back-to-back switch, down the pipe spins to the right and to the left to finish it off. Boom!
Taylor, what made that so special for you?
I haven't thrown a dub in a couple runs or a couple years, and didn't land really my first 2 runs too clean. So put it down and had 6 hits, and I guess just going to leave it up to the judges. Is it 6 hits or is it 4 hits?
6 hits it was, Taylor. We can let you know that. 88.8. So Taylor Seaton shifts right up. He's pushed Jackson Herter and Simon D'Artois all the way down. Not enough to overhaul Brendan McKay, but Taylor Seaton in 5th position. The man he's just pushed down is about to drop, so we're getting that lovely ladder effect. The pressure being put on each skier by the previous skier. And Jackson Herter now won the Continental Cup down here earlier in the Winter Games. Shifties his way in.
A nice stylish way to enter the pipe there. Jackson Herter right side 720, lead tail to start it off. So it's down the pipe 720. The setup trick to the big switch doubles we've seen from some of the top dogs. There's the right side double 12. He manages to hold it and put it into a double flare. I wasn't ready to see that, but that shows just how comfortable he is in the half pipe. How on earth did he do that?
That is just pure conviction, isn't it? Absolutely phenomenal. Throwing into that. The disappointment is that exactly as we've seen with Lyman Courier, I think it was, or some of the other skiers, as soon as you sit down, it's gone.
Exactly, any reason, there's a reason. No glide in that double 12, slightly on the side. I mean, I don't even know if he did touch, but you can just tell it wasn't perfect. But the fact he managed to stand up through all that G-force pressure and throw that double flare is extraordinary.
Well, Jackson, so close on some of those landings, but you've got the whole season to improve, I suppose.
Oh yeah, I mean, strong start of the season. I'm definitely glad at how it's gone. I ended the season with my first run, so I'm glad to get into it quick and then try to add some stuff into it, so should be good.
Yeah, a lot of these guys potentially come down here to use the front end of the season as off-season training to get a head start on everyone, but the chance to come here and test yourself in a World Cup is so valuable. Jackson Herter at the moment guaranteed 6th position. So we go back up to the top where the battle for the podium spots is about to start raging. It's Burke Irving looking to cement his position in first place. Only Simon D'Artois to drop after him.
It's testimony to Simon D'Artois that Burke Irving is going so hard. Double cork 1440 to switch down a pipe 7. A beautiful left 900 Cuban. Right side 900. He's going to finish this off with a left side double down a pipe 7. Never seen that before. Don't know if anyone's ever done that trick before. The technical difficulty isn't the spins and the hugeness of the trick. It's the execution. It's so difficult, borderline impossible to hold that rotation all the way back to switch. What the judges will do with it, I don't know, but it's a huge testament to Simon D'Artois, the Burke Irving sitting in first with only Simon who can knock him off. The fact that he would throw this run and put it all on the line for that is unbelievable.
Let's just doff our caps as well. It's chapeau to Burke Irving. 3 runs, 3 14s landed. That trick is officially on lock for Burke Irving now.
Absolutely, and we mentioned Nico Porteous, who threw that trick in the Olympics in Korea just now. Here's the trick that I don't think we've ever seen before. Double down the pipe, flat spin, 7. Wow. And everyone's just as amazed as me.
Yeah, Burke, everyone around here is calling that sick. Sick for you?
Yeah, I'm probably the most hyped on that I've ever been. Way too psyched right now.
So Burke
What was so
Irving.
special about that run?
That's a trick that I've only done once before on the last hit, and I'm like just so psyched that I landed it. Oh no, wasn't expecting that.
Love that. Today is 100% Burke Irving's day. The big question now, though, and you posed it instantly, Woodsy, is what the judges are going to do with that.
I mean, it was a gorgeous run. There's a trick, there's a basically unprecedented trick thrown at the bottom. I don't think the amplitude was as big as his first run score. I mean, when you come out of the gate, first run with a 95-point run, it's very difficult to improve on it. But what you can do is relax for the rest of the competition and actually bring out some tricks that you've never done before.
Well, that's what we were treated to. This is an official NBD in competition, never been done.
Boom. That's amazing. And you can see that Burke Irving's just as surprised as everybody else that he managed to hold that switch. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, and the judges have sent it. A really, really nice little signal there that it's not just about how many spins you're doing. There is an appreciation of progression and of execution and style. So 95.6, Burke Irving has cemented his position at the top of the standings with one skier left to drop. It is the Canadian Simon D'Artois, a.k.a. the Dart.
Simon D'Artois, absolutely one of the world's best. If you're going to put somebody up there to mix things up, if you were going to bet on a dark horse right now, it would be Simon D'Artois. Not just because he's your only choice, but he has got what it takes to upset this podium. He absolutely does. All right, huge air to fakey mute grab on the first hit. Down the pipe, switch 1260, unbelievably technical trick. Huge switch 7 to back that up. Watch Simon's amplitude now. Double cork 1260 to the left, clean as you like, and then double flat spin 720, huge at the bottom there.
And the execution was there from the second run where he ever so slightly overcooked that landing. The effortlessness of that double 12 as well.
Simon D'Artois. If I was Aaron Blunt right now sitting in third, I'd be nervous. Simon D'Artois can breathe a huge sigh of relief because no matter what the score, he held it down in the most pressure you can get in a competition.
7th place at the moment. This is definitely a podium run. It's just a question of where on the champagne steps the judges are going to put him. That switch 1260, phenomenal.
Phenomenal. Little bit of a tinker with the grab rather than a hold on those 2 switch tricks. However, down the bottom, flawless. Now, Aaron Blanc, a beautiful run, a world-class run, arguably the hardest run of the day from Aaron Blanc, but he had some wobbles. Simon D'Artois, incredibly technical, difficulty run, but little wobble on the grab on the second hit. What are the judges going to do with it? I can't even tell you.
Well, Simon, your best run of the day, where did that come from?
I don't know, somewhere deep, you know, inside.
It's been such a tough competition. You had to pull one out at the end, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely. Just wanted to put down a third run, and hopefully it kind of can compete against these guys here, but these guys killed it. So I'm just hoping, you know, I'm just hoping. Thank you.
What a run. Before we even get Simon D'Artois scoring, it's worth putting in perspective how insane this first World Cup of the season has been.
Berg.
87.
What was the deal with that?
Oh my goodness. Simon D'Artois' final run, an absolute scorcher, pushes him up one position. Jackson Hutter, who I'd assume was guaranteed 6th position, wrongly obviously, has now found himself pushed down to 7, but Simon D'Artois, just 6th position for an unprecedented run. Above him, some very, very high quality skiing though. Aaron Blunk takes 3rd with his 3rd and final run. Noah Bowman too made it his 3rd and final run. Burke Irving didn't need it, but he did improve on his 3rd run to take 95.6 and unveil a never been done in a half-pipe ski competition. James Woods, take a breath. That was a very, very impressive competition.
It absolutely was. What an amazing day. It's a huge compliment to the pipe and to these guys that the biggest scores from the day were all thrown on the 3rd run while the sun's been out baking this pipe. An unbelievable session, and it just goes to show the mentality on a day like this when it's perfect and these boys are all on fire, what can be done in a good environment like that. It's incredible.
It's always the worry, isn't it, on a hot, as you say, as the day's warming up, that the pipe starts to melt a little bit, but it held up throughout, and we had 2 really, really strong finals. Kexin Zhang spoilt the triple repeat for Eileen Gu. That was the surprise win there, but some very technical skiing. Back-to-back switch 900s. Valeria Demidova rounding out the podium there. But take a look at this. We talked about it earlier on, the Chinese dominating the top 4 places there, and a real sign of their intent ahead of the 2022 Winter Games. These are the men's results though, and so we knew from the very beginning when we saw that much talent in one final that it was going to be tough, but the scores, look at that strength in depth. 87 only gets you 6th, and that's when you know you've got a really good final, when you've got that really steady arc between 87 and 95. That means everyone threw down and got at least one of their best runs. Okay, so after the first World Cup of the season, this is what the standings look like. Unsurprisingly, it looks a little bit like the standings in the final. Kexin Zhang of China will lead. Eileen Gu. And you can see a bit further down, you've got Rachel Anderson, one of the Canadians, Isabel Hansen and Riley Jacobs rounding out the top 12. But a very strong showing from the Chinese. 4 athletes in the top 6. On the men's side, we'll see that incredible superpower strength of the Canadians and the Americans. They are so, so strong. Let's take a look at this top 12. You've got a Swiss in there and a Chinese. You've got Miguel Porteous in 10th, and then they're all Americans and Canadians in that top 9. And you think each of those nations can only take 4 people to the Winter Olympics. So the battle just for a spot on the Canadian or the American team is going to be something to watch over the next couple of years. The World Cup is going to be full of that competition. Okay, we can go back down to the bottom now, where we'll see the flower ceremonies. These will be the last ones on the hill up here at Cardrona. So you can see, actually, that's a really good shot there. You can see, Woodsy, just how tall Eileen Gu is as well, and how much shorter Zhang Kexin is.
I mean, there always has been a sort of theory that being a little bit smaller, sort of lower center of gravity could help you. However, we've seen over the more recent years in freeski and across the board, a lot of really tall competitors doing very, very well. I mean, look at Alex Hall right now, the likes of Bobby Brown, Russ Henshaw, really incredibly tall people. Kelly Silderer a few years ago with a similar style to Eileen Gu, a little bit taller than the other girls, and it seems to be working for them.
In third place, representing Russia, Valeria Demidova.
So the Russian, who worked so hard for 3 runs to chase down Eileen Gu. Big, big improvement on her third and final run score. Cemented third place ahead of Li Fankui. In second place, it's been a very, very successful Southern Hemisphere season for Eileen Gu. She took first in slopestyle and halfpipe Continental Cups, and she's taken second here at the World Cup. But Zhang Kexin of China will take the top spot. She barely featured in the Continental Cup 2 weeks ago, but she shares the Chinese flag with Eileen Gu. First and second place for China, a very, very strong showing.
Almost a three-peat as well. Valeria Demidova really upsetting that Chinese three-peat on the podium, which I'm sure that they were looking for, but a massive result for the Russian as well.
Well done. Okay, there you go. We thought it was going to take a bit longer for the Chinese to assert themselves in skiing. They've only been following this program for the last 6 years, but those are confirmed positions. In third place, Valeria Demidova, Eileen Gu in second, and Kexin Zhang with the win. Now it's the turn of the men. And there'll be a fair amount of bragging rights involved in this podium because there were no gimmies whatsoever. If you wanted a spot on this podium, you had to dig as deep in your bag of tricks and into your reserves of courage to get there, because it wasn't just about how technical these runs were, it was about how big you went.
So how big you went, the pipe, the conditions were absolutely perfect all day, and it allowed for the best in the world to be the best in the world. We even saw some never been done tricks, and we saw some tricks that people just don't do in half-pipe competitions because they're simply too hard, and now they're making them look and like they are nothing, and they're combining them with other ones. It's unbelievable.
Okay, so in third it was Aaron Blunk. In second you can see him there, Noah Bowman. But the top spot belongs to this man. Youth Winter Olympics gold in the halfpipe in 2016. And as you said, Woodsy, he has stepped seamlessly into elite level competition. He has the 1440 on lock on his first hit, the riskiest point in the pipe. Burke Irving is the new force to be reckoned with in the 2019-2020 season. Make no mistake, everyone is chasing Burke Irving from now on. Confirmation of the results. Blunk in third, Noah Bowman in second, Burke Irving in first, making a very neat and tidy Canadian sandwich. So, take a breath. What a fitting end to the QRC Winter Games New Zealand, fueled by Forsyth Barr. We've had over 14 days of action. It started back on the 23rd of August with the parallel night slalom over at Coronet Peak. But between Cardrona Alpine Resort, the Maniatoto ice rink in Naseby, the ice arena in Queenstown, we've seen some brilliant action. But these are your two winners in the FIS World Cup halfpipe finals here in Cardrona. Burke Irving for the men and Zhang Kexin for the women. They wear the gold bibs that signify the rankings leaders in the World Cup, and there'll be a long break now until the pipe moves to Nanshan Resort in Beijing for the Secret Garden World Cup in December. But no doubt everyone will be up on the glaciers, training hard. Thank you all if you've joined us for any part of the QRC Winter Games New Zealand. It's been an absolute honour getting to commentate on the action here. It's been fantastic. James Woodsy, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Pleasure to watch that from a best seat in the house. Thanks, Ed.
Okay, looking out over the Cardrona Valley, all that's left for us to say up here in the Southern Alps is thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time at the Winter Games New Zealand.
What are you pulling? I've never seen anyone do